boring. It really is a tougher way to live.
What do you guys think of this lighting? It's supposed to add depth or whatever. Hey, what's up you guys? I've been waiting a while to film this video. There's just so much drama that I'm not gonna get into since the first video, so it took me a little bit of time to film this one, but there were a lot of questions since the first video, and it's been a while. It's been 3 months since I had a boob job, so I just want to update you guys on what's been happening, how I'm healing, and also like go through day by day what the pain was like. By the way, this video is going to be really detailed. If you're not interested in getting a boob job at all, you're gonna find this video very boring, so I'm sorry. I can see you next week. This is just my experience. If you don't care for that content, don't care for plastic surgery, don't want to get plastic surgery, you don't have to watch it. Like, seriously, this is one video out of millions of videos on YouTube. Like, you can literally just like click away. But anyway, if you want to get one, or you have a boob job coming up and you're just nervous and you want to see what's gonna happen, then this video is probably gonna help you. I didn't film a lot of footage while I was recovering because the number one thing you can't do is to lift up your arms, which is what you gotta do if you want to film yourself. So instead, I'm just gonna let you know day by day what happened, all the post-op appointments I went to, everything they did. So I'm just gonna tell you day by day what happened, what my pain was like. Day one was not that bad. I was ugly as hell. I was still really swollen, and not just my face, my whole body felt really swollen. Pain, I would say, was at like a 5 out of 10. It was more of a discomfort than pain, like excruciating pain. There was no nausea because they told me not to eat or drink anything before the surgery and a couple hours after surgery, so that really helped. Nothing was coming up. I had an appetite straight out of surgery. I think the first thing I said coming out of anesthesia was, I want to eat. I want to eat. So the first day was okay, it wasn't that bad. And I think there was still a bit of anesthesia in my system, so that also helped with the pain. Day one post-op, I also saw my doctor. Like, I took off the bandages and saw my boobs for the first time. That was a moment. And he also looked at everything and made sure everything was okay. It came out a lot bigger than I thought they were gonna be, which scared me on day one. Because the implants, when you play with them, they're like so small. They're like chicken cutlets, and then they're in your body and they look like balloons. Of course, like 50% of it was swelling, but still seeing that on you for the first time was like, But yeah, he looked at the stitches, looked at all the incisions, and it's also that morning that they took out the drains from my sides. The drains were there to help decrease swelling, because too much fluid retention and too much swelling could lead to other complications, so the drain was there on the first day to get rid of that. Second day, the pain was worse. I think it was probably like a 7.5 out of 10. The second day was also the first time I experienced what internet people call morning boob. Basically, when you wake up, there are 5 to 20 seconds where you just have excruciating, like 10 out of 10 pain on your chest. I'm not sure, but I think that's part of your nerves like coming back and like waking up. You can walk it off easy. You don't need painkillers for it because it's only such a short amount of time, but that part sucked, and that part lasted for 2 months. It gets better over time, and it's the worst from day 2 to day 5, but that part fucking sucks. Later, I went to the doctor. I also had a post-op appointment on the second day. They really were keeping an eye on me. On day 2 post-op, they also removed the stitches from the inner part of my right boob. There was a small incision because if you watched the first video, you saw that they found a lump in my right breast and they had to take it out. They did a biopsy. It wasn't anything that was medically dangerous. It was fat necrosis, which might lead to other complications if I left it in and never took it out. It wasn't cancer, and it wasn't anything that is super alarming. I know a lot of people were concerned about that in the first video. I'm sorry I scared you. But yeah, they took out the stitches and it's still healing fine. There's a small scar now that's like the size of, I would say, like my pinky nail. It's fading day by day, and honestly, I don't care about that tiny scar. You can barely see it. I sometimes don't notice it, but in return I got that lump out, so I think the scar was worth it. And that condition of like 7.5 for pain lasted from day 2 to day 5. On day 5, I had another post-op. If you can't tell, they really want to get you in to do a bunch of checkup to make sure you're healing okay. By the way, at every single one of these post-op appointments, everyone came with me. Like, the Docfinderkorea people drove to the building every single time I had a post-op appointment to go with me. And most of the staff at View, my hospital, they knew how to speak English anyway, but Anna and Anari from Docfinderkorea were there as well to like facilitate. Anyway, on the 5th day, that's when they removed the stitches from the nipples. That terrified me. Just stitch removal. Having those little scissors cut stuff off from your skin is scary enough, but to have it around your nipples, such a sensitive area, I was like, I was real scared. After they removed the stitches and replaced it with a glue called Dermabond. Dermabond holds the incisions together. Sometimes it's used instead of stitches so that you don't even have to go through the stitch removal process. But for me, because it was the nipples, they went from stitches to Dermabond. And when they were doing Dermabond, I think that the Dermabond was actually really helpful for my scarring. The first couple of weeks and how clean, how well taken care of your incisions are is so crucial to how your scars heal. So I'm really glad Dr. Choi chose to use the Dermabond because my nipple looks... Is this like a weird thing to brag about your nipples online? But my nipple looks amazing. I love how my nipples look. Like, they're so much better than all the pictures that I've seen online from other surgeons. I even showed them to like a couple of my friends. I showed them to my friends. They said, oh my god, I didn't think that, like, it doesn't even look like scarring because it blends with like how the areola meets the rest of your breast skin. So yeah, Dermabond silicone sheets really help with my scarring. And on the same day, it was still day 5 post-op, I got really bored. It was really hot in Seoul. I didn't get to walk around all that much because I had like layers of bandages on me. So I wasn't really trying to walk around everywhere and try to sweat in my incision because that's bad for healing as well, to have like that moisture and bacteria around your incisions. So I was kind of just stuck in my room all day. It was small. It was a pretty nice room, but it was still like, I felt like I was stuck there. I ate there, I lived there. So since I was bored, I went to their dermatology office and asked them, hey, can I get some kind of facial, or what kind of dermatology services do you guys have? You know, just to relax and have some me time since the recovery part is, you know, not the most comfortable. And they're like, yeah, just come for a consultation. It was great because I don't have to leave the building. I just had to press the elevator, go upstairs, and get the consultation. Like, I felt like I was living in like a building of just like beauty treatments. It was real nice. So I went up there, they helped me do a consultation. They recommended Cheung, which is a skin laser lifting treatment. Basically, it uses laser to stimulate collagen and tighten your skin. And I know I don't need it. Like, I don't think I need any of these beauty treatments I'm getting, but I just want to try it, so I did. This isn't really technically related to the boob job recovery. So I went to their dermatology office. They put numbing cream on my face for 50 minutes, and then they put the laser gun on my face, and then every time it snapped, it was like a really thick rubber band like snapping on your skin. It fucking hurt. I think it might have hurt more than the boob job. It was probably a 9 out of 10 for pain. I would not do it again, but if that's something you're interested in, you have the option to because they have a dermatology office. That's all I'm saying. This isn't technically about the boob job, but it's just nice that they have that. I just think it's a nice perk that I got it done there because I get to live there and get those services while I was recovering. But anyway, on day 7 post-op, I had another post-op treatment. You can tell these post-op appointments are pretty close together. That's also something that's really nice, you know, like did another ultrasound and they checked my incisions, everything, how it's healing. They switched me out to different bras depending on my healing process to really monitor, to make sure my boobs are dropping but not dropping too much. And they also did an ultrasound that day and found that there was a lot of water retention still in my boobs, which is pretty common when you've had surgery. So they took me to the ultrasound room, and the doctor who removed my lump, he is a surgeon that specializes in like this kind of stuff, like breast health, breast cancer. So he was the one who put a syringe under my breast and then took out a lot of water to help relieve the swelling. It was like a full syringe of water. It was actually kind of scary to see, and I just kept going to post-op appointments until 2 weeks out. I went to see the surgeon one last time. He gave me medication that's for emergencies, which came in handy actually. He gave me emergency antibiotics, medication, so that if I have like some kind of pain or infection that happened in Hong Kong, that I would have immediate access to antibiotics if anything happens, which is great. And even after I flew back to Hong Kong, we still have back and forth. Like they would, like I would send pictures of my boobs to them and then they would be like, okay, that's normal or that's not normal. And actually when I was in Thailand, I had a scare because I started to ooze liquid out of my right nipple. But I started another treatment of antibiotics and also put antibiotic ointment on the incision and it went away real fast. Overall, I think the first 2 weeks is definitely the most rough. It's different for everyone, of course, but it was really hard and having to wear such a thick compressive bra all the time during summer. If you're gonna get your boobs done, get them done in winter. That's like my biggest tip. Really, after the first 3 weeks to a month, it's just smooth sailing. Now I can sleep on my back or my side, I can exercise. I used to love wearing like small bralettes. I can't really do that anymore. I have to wear something like real supportive. I also gotta work out my back to support the girls. But you know what? I look at my tits and I think I look fucking hot. And the funny thing is no one else can tell a difference. Like even when I came home, my sister saw my boobs. She's like, nothing changed because they pretty much look the same underneath clothes, but for someone who can like see them naked all the time, they look so full but still natural. It takes about 3 to 6 months, sometimes a year, for the entire breast tissue to soften completely, so they're still going to continue to soften, but they're pretty soft already. And something I really wanted was that fullness, and I finally have that now without the really fake circle look. Yeah, what can I say? I love my boobs. After this video is posted, I'm going to make a final Q&A. Last time I'm talking about my boobs because I don't want this to become a boob channel. I'm going to do a final video to answer every question you guys have about the whole experience because I know I had a huge amount of questions before I made this choice. So leave them in the comments of this video or my first one, you know, about price, choosing your size, and choosing a doctor and all that stuff. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!